first off, we're going to take a look at the radar, and we're going to see that literally there is nothing on it at all, period. I wish that there was better information, but it's a beautiful day. I mean, we got temperatures in the 60s and 70s, and so that wind is out of the south, and it is going to blow, blow, blow. That being said, right now, we're looking at winds anywhere between 15 to 20 knots from Vance down at Enid all the way up to Alva. Winds are 18 miles an hour, gusting to 24. We've got, that was from Vance, 23, gusting to 30. And those winds are only going to increase as the storm systems take and moves in. Stand by 1 second. Hello? What? I'm live right now. I leave here at 5:30. No, because I don't go that way. I go down 74 to the turnpike. All right, bye. All right, bye. So, sorry about that interruption. But yeah, the wind's going to blow. That storm system is actually making its way across now. It has came on land. And so tonight, winds will increase even more out of the south-southeast as that storm system approaches. Now then, one of the things that we need to look at is the fire outlook, not so much for today, but for Friday. And it is not a good situation. Everywhere from basically New Mexico up into southeast Colorado, all the way across the Oklahoma Panhandle to Woodward, in that area is in an extreme fire danger. Even today, we can go and look. Day 2 is extreme here in this orange region and critical on the outside of it. And so, that being said, not a good situation. Even day 1, which is today, New Mexico, Texas, and all of that is going to move east because we have a dry line set up. And so temperatures back behind the dry line are very dry. Obviously, that's why they call it that. And so not good for wildfires to happen. So shouldn't be any burning at all out in these on these days coming up. I would not foresee that anybody would be allowed to do that. Also need to make sure that you're not dragging any chains with your trailers or anything like that, because I mean it doesn't take hardly anything to create a spark, and if it catches that dry grass, it is going to go quick, and those winds, like I said, are only going to increase. So just a note for that information. So let's get back over here. We're going to take and we're going to look at the model data as to, I say that we are, once I get over here. So talking about any possibilities of rain. So the thing about it is that cap is still very, very prominent. If anything is able to break through, it is going to be later in the day. And so we'll look at that here in just a second as what the newest models are saying. But as it stands right now, I mean, we are going to be pretty dry. I wished I had better news, like I said yesterday, but that is not the case. The system has slowed down, and the moisture is going to be ahead of it. So any kind of forcing or anything like that, in order to get things to go like they're supposed to and get storms or rain or whatever the case might be, all of those things have to work like a fine-tuned machine. And this one it's off a couple of licks on its timing. And so we'll take a look at the current temperatures right now. So this is current model. This is what they call the 18Z. And we go through. We're going to take and loop this again like we did yesterday. And we can progress. Now this is just the temperatures. Okay? And you're going to see that things are going to dry out. Obviously this is the nighttime. We come back into the days. You see that warm temperature starting to spread back. Here it comes again. Big heat wave. Look out here. Look at west. Panhandle of Texas. Even down into New Mexico. And even down in the down around Midland, Odessa area. And parts further than that. 85 degrees. So temperatures are really starting to advance. There's 81 out there along that corridor where that dry line, and that's why they're saying that it is going to be very dangerous today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow as this dry line punches through. So you can see it on this. So here is your dry line. And as it punches across, you can see it change that color. And so, man, is it not good? Not good at all. So we really, really, really need some moisture. We need all of those things to come in and to really, align and give us some moisture in here. So we are very dry. So normally, grass should start to green up, and the grass in my front yard is still, it looks dead. And so here we are. This model is progressing. Now, we start to get into, we just lost the model data there for some reason. Why did we do that? Let's get back over here. That was weird. Never had that happen before. So bear with me while we get everything back here again. All right. We need to go to forecast loop again. And we need to come back down here to composite reflectivity. Okay, so here we go. We're advancing across, and then starting to get into Thursday morning. We start to see a little bit of stuff starting to go off, but if you notice on the next jump, it's gone. And so models are picking up relatively good. That might change. I'm not going to say that it can't, but it's just not looking all that good. I mean, all of that is just light precip. Now you get further into Friday, you start to see the severe weather stuff pick up over here where we were talking about yesterday. And there is your line of severe storms that's probably going to create some issues over in Arkansas and along that all the way through Missouri, up into Iowa, Illinois, and even probably Indiana. And so all of these cells, if they go discrete out in front of this other line that punches through, bad situation for that area. But anyways, here we are. We're back here in the dryness. So if you look at the dew points as we go through on this, obviously this is for today right now. We're still very dry outside. No moisture. There's a little bit down in the southeastern parts, just shy of the I-44 corridor. But otherwise, it is not good. So moisture starts to transport because of those south winds. They come up, and as you can see, as that green comes in, that is Gulf moisture. And so that's going to be fuel, but like I said, the storm system is not jiving right now. So look at this dry line sharpen as we get into Thursday. So 14-degree temperatures as far as moisture content in the air back here, with 52, 60, even 64, 65s down here. That moisture is going to make its way northward. Watch what happens. Boom. Here it comes. It's going to be sticky outside. It's going to be warm outside. And as you see there, that dry line punches through. Cold air comes in back behind it. We still dry out. Moisture stays over here. And that's where they get the storms at. You can actually see things going on. Check this out. Watch. Right here, there's a front. And then this one that drops in from this way. Everything back behind it. So, boom. That's pretty impressive. I mean, you get single-digit temperatures back here at 9 p.m. on Thursday. So, incredibly dry back behind that. And that wind is going to be howling like none other. So, we'll take a look at the winds here in just a second. So remember what we were saying, that if the barbs is on this end, like this right here, that means that the wind is out of the south. Watch these lines of isobar here. As they tighten up, that means that storm system gets closer. But watch the bars that stick out to the left. Look how many they are. And whenever there's a little triangle on it, that means that's 50 knots. So watch what happens. Here comes the wind. Notice the winds up here. Notice the isobars tightening up. There's 25, 15 in some areas. Now that's not miles per hour, that's knots. Here's 25 up here in northwest Oklahoma. Woodward, Alva, all of that, as that storm system approaches, you're going to see those winds even higher as it hits. Look how close these bars are here. Winds 40, 50 miles per hour as this system approaches. It is, like I said, it is going to be howling. Howling. And then as it progresses through, things come out from the west. They go to southwest, to west. That's a drying wind. And man, that thing comes through like none else. And then you get northern winds. Northerly winds. So, and they kind of subside, but it's going to be a 2 or 3 day deal. So, not fun at all as far as fire weather goes. I mean, really, there's no sense in even looking, to be honest with you. But we will, just to see. All of the things are there. And sometimes on these systems like this, the models have a hard time picking up on it. because of the cap that's involved, and we talked about that yesterday. If you basically had a lid on a pot, then that's basically what it is. And so, where did our live stream go? Why? That's what happened. I think we lost our YouTube because I think our stream went dead because I'm not seeing it back. Give me 1 second, guys. That is weird. I don't understand why it didn't pick up. Let me see if I can get it to switch over here real fast and go back to it. There we go. We're back. We're back. So I've got to take and adjust the settings. I apologize for that. I thought that I had the well, for some reason it is not. It is not picking up on the pivotal weather. Okay, man, talk about trouble. So, we're back. All right. So, we'll go back through that. So this is a surface-based cape, and like I was saying, just because it shows up does not mean that things are going to come through like that. Here it comes. It's along the west, and it spreads into the western sides of Oklahoma, even up through our area. And you've got 1589, almost 1,600 joules per kilogram of cape, which is that convective available potential energy. If you click on that, let's see what it says. Marginal torr. It's going to give hail of a pretty large size. Cape or the cap is not completely unbreakable, and even the precipitable water, which would basically mean whether or not the storm was high precip or low precip. It's lower precip, so meaning that would have a rain-free base. If there was any instances for tornadoes to happen, the level of free convection here and the liquid condensation levels are down low, so that means they would be surface-based storms if they can form. Not going to say that they won't, but that cap is enough to create some problems. And so perhaps later on in the evening, it might break through. And again, we're still a couple of days out, so we'll want to take it and look at it and watch it closely. Hopefully it changes and throws itself around a little bit. And gives us the opportunity for some moisture around here. Otherwise, it is not good news as far as moisture, and we need it, especially in northwestern and north central Oklahoma. So that's a little bit too far, but. So that's Friday at 18Z. We need to back up here. actually, let's see here. Yeah, so that takes it over into the Arkansas and Missouri, and so the moisture here, and this is EHI. So this is the spin in the atmosphere. Look at this, 4.1, 4.2. So if all of the dynamics came into place, I mean, there would be a fair shot that there could be a tornado in that region up there along the Oklahoma and Kansas border. The cap is extremely strong, and that's what I'm saying. So it's going to have a hard time breaking through. And generally, if you see something like that, and what draws our eyes to that is if there's supercells that form and they move across and they have a helicity track with them, then that would be something we definitely need to take and pay attention to. But we're not seeing any reflectivity whatsoever show up on the radar. And so it's not good for rain or anything else. So, hazards right now, current hazards from National Weather Service, wind advisories all out in the Texas Panhandle, New Mexico, even Oklahoma Panhandle. And so, yeah, I mean, just not good at all. And that is going to move off to the east. The other, we can look at excessive rainfall amounts, and this is day 1, day 2, and obviously you can see that there is day 3, and so this is Wednesday, Thursday, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there's where they're saying this excessive rainfall could happen. So, just not a good situation. As far as forecast goes, we can look at the SPC outlooks. And so for our day 2 outlook, I don't know if we can take and pull that up. Day 2 categorical, okay, basically a marginal risk in this center here. It does have, and I'm not going to, candy coat this at all. It does have, for a portion of Oklahoma, a 2% tornado risk. But you have to have convection first in order for that to happen. And so we've got to wait and see what happens. The hail threat expands a little bit more, which does cover Grant, K, part of Alfalfa, and all of that there. Garfield, Osage, all of those areas. Wind, same thing. Pretty much the same thing. So, I wish that I had better news, but unfortunately I don't. And I'm not talking about having that for severe weather, of course, but just in general, any kind of rainfall whatsoever. One thing I do want to do, because I don't know if you guys were able to see that or not, so let me back over here. The fire outlook. So day 1, we'll have to bring that over here, is out in New Mexico, the very far western portions of Oklahoma Panhandle, even over into the western regions of Texas, just west of Amarillo. So Vega, Dumas, Stafford, or Stratford, I'm sorry. And so that will progress eastward. If we go to day 2, we're going to see that go even worse, critical and extreme fire danger because of the temperatures, the winds, and the dry line. So not good at all. Day 3, that actually moves basically covers all of the Texas panhandle, the Oklahoma panhandle, western Oklahoma, and uh, so forth. So just a good thing to be watching out for. And like I said, there should be no burning whatsoever. And so I wouldn't imagine that anyone would allow anybody to burn anything off, period, because of these winds that are going to be coming through. And so one last thing that we want to take and do is we'll take and look at the surface or the visible satellite here. And let's see if we can take and zoom out. So that system is out. And so anyway, I keep getting phone calls, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the live stream. And anyways, we'll try and do an update again tomorrow and let you know more about what's going on. But as for now, that's all we got for you. So